welcome back to another episode of Logistical Lives by Miranda J. This episode is going to be called Dress Code. I'm actually a little more dressed up today than I normally am. I actually have an event today. But as I was getting ready, I was thinking about what this would look like on camera. And one of my thoughts was, oh my God, I'm going to be overdressed for the conversation that I'm having. And then I had to drop it down. So I want to get into that conversation of dress code and what does that really mean to be overdressed, underdressed? As a woman in this industry or any industry, I think we get a lot of flack about our clothes and we spend so much money just trying to please bosses, please our children, friends, moms, trying to please everybody that a lot of times we are the ones who end up missing out. So I wanted to get into this conversation because I think that it's going to be a good one for sure. Starting out, I told you before, I have five beautiful daughters. They are 25, 22, 19, 16, and 12. Which means, many of times I've come across the what are you wearing conversations and to make sure that, of course, they are appropriate when they go out wearing certain things. But then also there's that healthy balance of you can also be yourself. So it has been something. So let me just tell you a little bit about me. I come from a family that did not necessarily grow up in the church. I didn't start going to church probably until I was about 10, I believe 10 years old. Before that, my dad and my mom, they were big on having like barbecue parties and a lot of friends over. Our Sundays were, I felt like a lot of fun. We had a lot of family time, which we still did afterwards, but it wasn't like when we moved to South Carolina. When I moved to South Carolina, it was church, 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 and more church. I think we went on Sunday, we went on Mondays, we went on Wednesdays, and we went on Friday. It was a lot. And then you went on twice on, well, sometimes three times on Sunday because you had Sunday school, you had your regular church service, and then if there was an usher meeting or choir, choir anniversary, you were there all day long. So with that being said, I learned a lot about modesty and how to, present yourself, especially around men. And, that was just a really big thing that was just edged into, how you present yourself. Later on in life, it was, in business, when you're having a meeting, wearing a certain suit or looking a certain way, always looking the part. And of course, I'm sure like many of you guys in school, we had, and this is shout out to Fort Chester High School. No. So at Fort Chester High School, I remember we had an hour and a half lunch. I know that sounds crazy, but we had A and B block. And because of A and B block, it allowed us to have like one long lunch together. I'm pretty sure they don't do this anymore. I know they should never do that again because we were not the best students. We had too much free time. But this hour and a half lunch led to kind of like a time to show off your clothes. So whatever I picked out that day, when I was going through the lunchroom, it's like that stunt, that walk that you do to let everybody know that this is what I'm wearing today. Okay, you see me. And that one won for a while. And it was always that theme of what are you wearing? Right. And now as an adult, it seems to be if I'm at this event, I have to wear this. Okay. Sometimes I'm literally leaving from the gym and I have enough time to go shower and throw something on. And I'll be honest with you, I don't put a lot of stock into where I'm going all the time. I just think about, am I comfortable? And heels are not, you won't believe it, but I don't own one pair of heels. I have wedges. Um, I've got some high heel Michael Kors, like not heels, but like some sneaker, like platform Michael Kors. I don't have a lot of heels. I got rid of a lot of stuff. Believe it or not, living in Florida, it's not easy to walk around with heels around here. So I don't have any. So sometimes I get invited to these events and I have to find things to go with my wedges because I don't want to go and have to go buy new clothes. Or new shoes every time. But that's part of what people say. What's a part of being an adult? It's a part of fitting in. to where you want to go. Okay. So I told you that I didn't start in church. I started going to church, then in business, then these different things, all these layers. Well, one big part about me is that my dad and my mom, I consider them very free thinkers. They are not the type that fit into a box or a mold. They're really, man, growing up, I can't tell you how many times I heard the word about being unique, being set apart. Man, the word set apart, I heard that so many times. I didn't even know what that meant, really. I just thought that meant like stay away from the crowd and don't, you know, necessarily try to fit into be a follower, right? So that set apart, be different, be unique, be set apart, be different. You're not like them. I heard that so much that I didn't get it until I got older. And so when I was told I had to wear this and I had to look like this and my hair needed to change when I got into real estate because it didn't fit what a real estate agent should look like, I did not like at all. And then as my daughters got older, they were telling me that, hey, I can't wear these shorts or I can't wear these jeans because they have rips in it and holes in it. Then I started to realize, okay, who are we pleasing here? Now, there is a boundary in every way, but I believe that people are allowed to set their own boundary. Whatever you are comfortable with, it's not about you trying to make me comfortable. Now, if you're in my home and I have certain limits inside of my home, then I'm allowed to set those limits within my home. If you have limits or a facility that you own, you are allowed to set whatever you want in that area. That is up to you. But when somebody's in a public area and they are somewhere that is not any like strict regulations, they should be allowed to do what is best for them. I personally don't feel like you need to dress up to see me. That's me. You might be in an area where you feel like that is necessary. The reason why I'm saying this is there's so much stress around what you're wearing. But I want to make something clear. I did a video, this is my third video, and I wore very casual, relaxed clothes on those videos. And you were able to hear me. You were able to listen. You were able to take something from it, and you were able to feel good. My podcast videos, I did an overlay with me just writing, and that's what I do. I journal a lot, and you were able to receive it. What I put on should not change how you receive. If what I am wearing changes how you receive information, that says way more about you than me. If you can't receive me because you don't like what I'm showing, if it's skin or too much skin or my boobs are showing right here, if those things are bothering you, it is more about how you were raised and how you deem someone should fit into your box. I do not fit into anybody's box. Why? Because my parents said I am unique, I am set apart, and I am different. And as long as I am unique, set apart, and different, I don't fit into your box. And neither do my children. So for me, it's beautiful. It's very freeing, actually. And in this industry, we definitely see women who are driving trucks and they're jumping out the trucks. They're short out the trucks with their short shorts. And they are, fabulous. Okay. And I hear comments from men and women who are saying things like, "Oh, why she's just trying to show off." And okay, that's okay. You can do that. She's doing the exact same thing that we all do when we put our business suit on and we want to impress the big boss. She's her boss. Or if it is for the cameras, okay, that's all right. The same way that people go to church on Sundays and get all dolled up to say, "Hey girl, that's nice, nice hat, nice this." You want that feeling. You're allowed it. It doesn't matter if you are covered, uncovered, halfway covered. That is your desire and that's how you feel. We don't have the right to tell somebody how to feel within their clothes. I choose not to do that. What does that mean? That means that yes, Miranda will show up sometimes in her sweat. Sometimes if I am about to go to the gym afterwards, I will show up with my clothes that are, I'm not completely showing, but I don't have time to fit into your box. But what I do have time for is to make sure you make money. And I used to say that all the time in real estate. I said, are you worried about what's on my body? Are you worried about what's in my mind? Because my mind is not only making you money, it's saving you money. And in this trucking industry, those women with those short shorts are bringing you everything you need to make your business and your household run. Don't worry about what they're wearing. Now, someone will say, well, they're bringing attention. They could be harmed by men. Mm, let's think about this together. Do you think that it takes a woman to be halfway dressed to be taken advantage of? Let's think about that. Or do you think that it really doesn't matter? Because we know throughout history and throughout time and weight, skinny, big, what you may consider as ugly or beautiful, whatever, all women have had a story of being taken advantage of. It does not have anything to do with what she was wearing that day, but more to do with the man that decided to take advantage of her. So let's leave that part of the conversation at least out the door. Where dress code for me is important is in common sense. So I am out with a lot of times at the port lately. I'm out there a lot. And before we were out in the oil fields. Do I wanna have short shorts on in certain outfits in that area? No. Why? Because there's a lot of chemicals around, there's a lot of things blowing around, there's things that could fall on your foot, steel-toe boots are a good idea. There's a lot of things there's elements that could cause you harm. So there's a dress code for common sense, right? And then there's that dress code for, to fit in somebody else's box. You have to decide what you're comfortable with, but don't allow anybody to tell you that you have to look or be a certain way to be in any particular industry. You know, like you have to allow those things to kind of break the mold. I'm really talking, you know, no, I'm not going to even say I'm talking to women. I don't even think that's fair anymore because I know a lot of young people, you guys get hit hard about what you're wearing. I'm impressed that you're able to push back because I know my generation crisscross. Okay, we wore our clothes backwards. They were baggy. We pushed, and I feel like we paved the way for y'all to push. Maybe we don't like it. Maybe we don't understand the pants and holding it past your boxers. I don't get it, but that's not for me to get. It's for you to feel whatever you feel. If I'm not affecting your cash flow and it's not affecting your cash flow or your knowledge or your ability to be what you need to be, if it is affecting you, that's different, right? It's just like if there's anything that you're doing that is stopping you from moving to the next point, and one of those items is that, then you have to reevaluate it. But when you're at a place, especially in business where it's yours, you set the tone. I'm setting my tone. You do not get to tell Miranda what she can wear in her truck. You do not get to tell Miranda what she's going to wear at a business meeting because I get to set the tone. That is the most beautiful thing about when you start to own a business. It's gorgeous. Think about it. You have the not Mike Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg. You think about the owners of Google. You think about a lot of these owners. Did you not see a change? Did you not see these men going from, just think about in the 90s and early 2000s, everybody was business suits. Anytime you see anything, they were very prestigious and in these business suits. And that was just the look. I want to say with Bill Gates was one of the ones that I remember him just coming off with his Levi jeans and a polo and like just being comfortable. I'm like, I don't need to be dressed like anything to make anyone else feel comfortable because I'm a billionaire and you don't get to set the tone for how I feel. Now I get to set that. And I saw more and more people doing that and more men doing that. But I saw women still being in this box of, I have to look this way. And the truth is, we don't. We can decide how we want to feel. I mean, down to my nose ring, how long my earrings are, me shaving the side of my head. We now can open up and expand because we own shit now. Okay. And I just want you to feel comfortable in who you are. Now, you may work at jobs that don't allow you, they have a dress code. If they have a dress code, of course, you have to adhere to those dress codes. But when you get into a certain position where you're allowing yourself to be more free and you know how you want to be, make sure you're not judging the woman underneath you. Make sure you don't pass judgment to harm another woman simply because of her clothes. That's something Miranda's definitely a stickler about. I don't ever want to see another woman hurt or feeling in pain because a grown woman decided to judge her by what she had on that day or how her hair looked that day. It doesn't matter. I mean, just allow people to live and be comfortable in who they are. And that's really how you get the best of them. I think for me, the way that I express myself is when I'm actually most comfortable. Sometimes when I get too overdressed and I'm all pent up and tight, I'm like, ugh, like I feel like I'm trying to fit in somebody else's box. I'm not as relaxed. When I step up there with my sneakers, I feel like I flow and I'm in my zone. Allow people to do that because then you do get the best of them. And I'll be one to say for sure, we're trained so long to look at the guy in the business suit as being more knowledgeable that when we see the person more relaxed and casual, we think that person can't really help us. And the truth is, that's a bold-faced lie. I mean, I can tell you, I met my accountant in person and she was super relaxed and she is the most professional woman. She's very knowledgeable. Shout out to Taxes by Erica. She is amazing out of Atlanta, Georgia. And her husband are very low key. They're very relaxed. And we met them a couple of times. But it had nothing to do with what they had on. It had to do with, can they save me money? And can they make me money? If you look at people from that perspective and get out of what they have on, it'll change your life. I know a lot of accountants in great looking business suits that have no money. I know a lot of real estate agents with the best suits and nice cars. Let me tell you, I know agents who bought cars at the beginning of them even becoming an agent just so they could attract certain clients. They were broke. Okay. It has nothing to do with what you're wearing or what you're driving. It has to do with what can you offer. Offer that service enough time, they won't even look at your clothes. They won't even care. Matter of fact, you know what they'll start doing? Because they do it to me all the time. She's gonna come in here comfortable. But after a while, it's gonna be that's Miranda. As long as she brings what she needs to bring, as long as she does what she's supposed to do, I'm okay with it. Change the room. Set the tone. Be unique. Be set apart. Be different. Allow yourself to be so big and so fabulous that they change the standard because of you. It's not all about clothes. That's just one outward way. It's also about maybe how you see something. It might be your vision on something. See, the dress code that we've been looking at for so long has been a way to really box us in. But the same way they use the dress code, they use principles and other rules and regulations to box us in mentally on even how we can run our business. I challenge you to push back and to say, how else can we do this? What am I not seeing because they have put me in this little box for so long that I have been like just checking and checking and checking and doing it their way that I can say, there's another way to do this. I can envision something bigger and better. Go outside of people's things and make them change for you. Make them start to say, that's a better way of doing things. I mean, if you think about it, and I could be wrong, I think 2007, 2008 was when Facebook really launched, that I can remember. I could be wrong. Before that, we had MySpace and we had other like Yahoo Chat, AOL Chat. But if you think about where we are today, it was because of someone's vision. It was because someone said, no, there is another way. and I don't have to adhere to your rule. If we can get to that, we can get beyond our wildest dreams. And it sometimes starts with just changing your shirt. It sometimes starts with just being comfortable and not allowing anybody to make you feel like you're not right because you don't fit where they want you to fit. So I challenge you this week to get out your comfort zone a little bit, shake things up, do what you really want to do, whether it be just saying, hey, here I am today. This is how I come, accept me, or you to push back on a vision or an idea that maybe everyone around you told you wasn't good enough or doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I hate when people say that. Or maybe you're only getting one like when you post it. Keep going. I challenge you today, actually push to make where you want successful and make it great. Use this whole week. Just keep pushing boundaries. And as long as you're comfortable and you're happy, and even at first, if you feel a little different, you feel a little weird, it's okay. It's because you're so used to being judged on those things. It's okay. Keep doing it. And you keep doing it until you become such a success that they want to do what you're doing. This is Miranda J with Logistical Lies. You have a wonderful week and be great.